With us, we have Stacey Wu. Stacey, I've been trying to get you on the show since like 6 months ago.
Yeah, I
eight
think
months
about
ago.
that's been about 6 months.
But you're such a busy woman.
I am. Yeah, it's very busy.
So can you explain a little bit about your job for the audience that doesn't know what you do?
So I work in financial services. I'm a financial services professional. So we help people with retirement, life insurance, market protection, market correction protection plans for existing retirement.
And you do a lot of the marketing for the whole company or for like your office, right? Aren't you in charge of that as well?
Yes, we do marketing for the office. We're a Fresno headquarters office based off of Shaw and Palm area.
Nice. And then you work with other sub offices, other places, or is it really just because you just said Fresno? So why makes it different?
Yeah, so we have offices all across the United States. So you have our main offices in San Jose, where we're the headquarters here in Fresno. We have 5 brokers in our office.
How long have you been there?
I've been here for 2 years.
How long has the office been in Fresno?
That office has been there for just about 10 years.
Awesome. So explain what it is the financial advisors do, because you guys deal with a lot of companies.
Yes, correct. So we're not financial advisors, we're financial professionals.
What's
So
the
there's-
difference? Can you explain that?
So there's a difference in licensing between a financial advisor and a financial professional and the services that they're able to provide. So we do work with all kinds of different companies as brokers: Transamerica, Nationwide, Athene, Pacific Life, Prudential.
And what's a financial advisor? What do they deal with more?
Financial advisors are more specific to the firm that they're working for. Financial advisors are more in variable markets, as to where our licenses allow us to do plans like market correction protection.
What's a market correction protection?
So what that is that's taking your money out of a risky market and putting it into a safe market. So it offers guarantees, higher rates of return. It offers a 10%, and it offers some of them can offer income for life.
What's considered a risky market?
A risky market is anything that's invested in the stock market where you have all of the upside potential and the downside risk of the market. You want to be in a protected market where you have all the upside potential of the market, but you're not taking any downside risk.
Are some of the riskier ones the ones that the company you work for puts you in? Like some of the people that have their job and like, well, I have my money in this is my 401k, this is that. Is that what you consider some of the risky markets that are already in place for them?
Absolutely. So your risky market is your 401k is in a variable market. So when the market's performing well, you have the opportunity to make a lot of money, but when the market recorrects itself, you're also losing a lot of money depending on how those are structured. The problem is a lot of people don't pay attention to how they're structured. They allow the company just put it wherever, and they don't pay attention to that. So they're taking losses.
So with your company, it doesn't matter if the market's doing well or not in order for your money to be safe?
Correct.
And why
Correct.
is that?
So what happens is when the market is on a downturn, you're at a zero floor, or you're at a lower interest rate. When the market goes back up, then you're making money again. So what happens is in the variable market, you're playing catch up when the market starts to perform well again. In a protected account, you're not playing catch up, so you're going to start to earn money where you left off before the market started to recorrect itself.
Wow. That's very interesting. And what are some of the plans? Because I know some of them are where there's monthly, you have to pay monthly. When you pay monthly for these plans, what are you paying into?
It depends on the structure. They're all very, very different. They're all very, very different. So it's hard to say it depends on the structure of the plan that you're in. So it's really hard to gauge what you're paying into. Some of them, you're allowing your money to sit there and grow, and some of them you're contributing into like a retirement savings plan. So it just depends on what you're looking for.
So some you can just leave your money to sit there. You don't necessarily have to be paying every month.
Absolutely.
And then some you can. It just depends what kind of return you want and where you want to put it.
Absolutely, yes. And it depends on what you qualify for, because not everybody qualifies for the plans, and not everybody's money qualifies to be moved into.
Why is that? Is that if their credit's bad?
No, it doesn't have to do with credit. It has to do with it's the type of plan, so it has to do with where their money's currently sitting, if they want to move it, if it's eligible or not.
But what makes it eligible? What would be like it just depends if it's if what they signed when they got into that?
Right, so it depends on their age, it depends on if they're still employed, it depends on how the policy is written, it depends on how the contract is written, depending in the situation where their current money is sitting. So there's all kinds of different variable factors.
So if people want to get a hold of you and meet with a broker, where do they go? What do they do? You guys can take anybody, right? Like anybody in this room, if they want to come and meet and sit down with someone, they just call, make an appointment.
Absolutely, yes. So because we're brokers, so we're able to sit down and we offer free financial reviews. We offer free reviews of your existing policies. Our office is located at 516 West Shaw, and we're in Suite 112. Or you can contact me by phone. My telephone number is 559-473-3675.
Oh, you just gave your number out there, Stacey. Wow.
Yes.
What kind of people are going to be? No, but that I'm sure very serious people call. And also, speaking of, we're going to start this thing where we can actually take calls and texts today from the audience. Anybody looking in, if you are watching live. So my number is 559-207-6756. If you have a question for Stacey, in the next 5 minutes, you could ring on. We can ask Stacey a question because you like questions, don't you, Stacey?
Of course we do.
What's the most frequently asked question that you get? What's one that you would like to say and answer that you just figure most people are going to ask you and you want to kind of save time? What's one of those questions that you have today?
One of the biggest questions that we get is how much is it going to cost me to sit down with you to get a full financial review or to gain some financial literacy? And the answer to that is zero. We don't charge our clients anything to sit down with them to see if we're able to help them.
And what's another question we didn't answer? We didn't go over. What's the second one? Once they sit down with you, what's the biggest question at that point?
What do I have to do to qualify? And so, that's all dependent upon the type of policy or the type of plan or the type of income protection plan that we're looking to put them in. So everybody is different, and so there is definitely a list of qualifications to get you to qualify for some of these plans. Again, it's eligibility of your current plan and where it's sitting, and it depends on if you want to continue to contribute. There's all kinds of variable factors, but that is another question that we're always asked.
And what if someone wants to pull their money out? Is that really hard once it's tied into? I know it depends on their policy, but do you have different plans where it's like, this is for the people that aren't sure and want to pull out at some time? Do you have plans like that?
To where they're flexible, to where they can have access to their money?
Well, yeah, where they want access to the money, or what if they just want to pull out altogether? What if something just really happens and they're like, what if someone's, dying of a brain tumor and like, we want to spend all the money that we have left and that we've accumulated?
Absolutely. There are terminal illness riders on these plans. So if somebody
Nice.
does come up and they do have a terminal illness, they can pull up to 90% of that out. Again, depending on the contract and how it's written, but that's generally how they're written. So your money is accessible to you, depending upon how it's structured.
And one thing I did hear, and you could put this right, is that the healthier you are and the more in shape you are, the better things are. You can sometimes get more money back if you're healthier on some of these plans.
Well, on some of these plans, the healthier, it depends on how it's structured. Again, you have an income protection plan that's structured with life insurance, something like that. Of course, the healthier you are, the more of your money is going to go into your savings versus the cost of life insurance.
Nice. So that's like a discount there. What are some other incentives that you can give the average person that you're like, oh, if you're eligible, you get this and that too? I know it varies, but just
right.
Some that people are like when you tell them, they're like, oh, really? And that's exciting. Do you have any like that?
So we do have some right now because of the market and the volatility of it, and people are losing money in their plans. Companies are offering premium bonuses, which means they're getting up to a 20% bonus on their initial premium, and they are offering up to a 10% guarantees no matter what the market is doing for an extended period of time.
So is that something that's going on the next couple months because of what's going on in our country right now and in our economy, or was it there before?
So these are plans that are in place before the economy took a downturn, and we don't know how long they're going to last. So because of the economy downturn, companies are going to start changing the structure of some of these. So some of the bonuses are ending, some of the bonuses are being lowered, and things like that.
So what if somebody comes to you, what if someone had gotten a policy 2 months ago, but now you're offering all these new incentives? Are they just kind of not screw, but are they kind of like, are they gonna be like, well, hey, I just came in too early. I want some of that. What do you do for those people?
It depends on the contract and how it's written. It's really hard to say. So because all contracts periods are different and they're all written different, it really just depends. So the best thing is to take advantage of the policies and the plans right now while the bonuses are high, while the crediting strategies are high.
We do have one question. Before I ask it, what are some of the incentives that you offer? Like if I invest with you guys and I want to bring a friend in, is there something I get like a friends and family, or is that just a silly question?
Well, because we are licensed, if you're talking about referral fees and things
Yeah,
like
stuff
that,
like that.
right? Because we're licensed and we're regulated by the state, we are not. We do not pay out for referral fees unless you're a licensed insurance agent as well.
Okay. You're answering everything very well. I'm sorry, I'm just throwing it at you.
That's
This
okay.
is for like everybody that hasn't come to you or doesn't have their money invested. I really want the average person to know exactly what to expect.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So it says the Dow is up today 690 points, 690 points. Isn't it Trump's positive speaking that helps the stock market go up? In your opinion, do you think it takes less time for people to recoup their money than in 2008?
Well, right now the average loss is about 31%. And so people don't realize is that they have to make back 1.5 times the amount of money that they lost in order just to get back where they were before the market tanked.
So what's the best outcome? I mean, what are you suggesting for people that are coming in? Is there anything they can do?
They have to protect their money from the market if it's eligible. So,
and that's where you come in because
yes.
You said that everything that we can invest with you is protected. It's
yes.
not like investing in the market.
Right, absolutely. Well, you're right. You're taking all the advantage of the upside potential of the market, but none of the downside risk.
Great. And then I heard your company was better because you have more companies that you work with than other people that are in your industry. Can you explain a little bit about that?
So because we're brokers and because our platform allows us to work with over 200 companies, I'm not specific to one company. It doesn't matter to me what company we use. It's whatever's best for the client. So because we're able and we have options, and it's the power of choice for the client, we can make recommendations with several companies. So therefore, I'm not worried about if it's Transamerica or Nationwide. I'm truly worried about what's best for the client and which company is going to best suit my client's needs, because I have options for them.
And what do other brokers do? They not offer that many companies?
It depends on the platform that they're sitting in. So
is this one of the better ones in town where it's like, because you're saying 200 a lot, like other people don't have that many options when they go to their other businesses?
Right, it depends. So if you work specific for a specific company, you generally only have those plans that one specific company offers. But because we're on the broker side, and our platform allows us to access a whole bunch of different companies, over 200.
So what if I'm getting into a new job and they bring all this stuff and like you want to invest here and there? Is that something I can come and have a sit down with you guys and be like, what they think I should do this? Should I do that? What should I do? And then you could have an alternative or say, this is how we could work with your job.
Yeah.
Is that even an option for a lot of jobs for me to say, hey, I don't like this. Can I put this stock into that? That's something you can sit down with us and say if it's an option or not.
We actually we do sit down and we make recommendations because we're doing a personal financial review, so we're looking at everything as a whole. People tend to think that the only options that they have are what's offered to their employer. People don't tend to realize that there are other options that are available out to them with their employer, also outside their employer. There's a lot of employers nowadays that aren't offering benefits. And so a lot of people have the big misconception that the only thing that they can get is through work. So yes, if we have people come to us, here's our 401k, here's our pension, let's diversify that and let's look at it and let's make some recommendations so that their portfolio is diversified.
Okay, so we have one more question. What is best to invest in, bonds or mutual funds?
Depends on the need. It depends on the outcome of the client. So it's really hard to say. It really just
I guess
depends
where
on
is your money more safer and more lucrative long term? I think, I'm not positive. I think that's what they
that's a question. Contact me and let's look into that. And
so
let's answer that
contact
question.
her.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Is there anything you want to let people know that really just have no idea? Like a lot of misconceptions that are out there about you. Would you like to clarify that at this point?
I just think that people need to understand that we need to save money. Everybody knows that. Everybody thinks that it's expensive to go sit down with a financial professional to look at the portfolio to see how we should be saving money, how to protect our retirement, and it's really not. That's the biggest message that I think I have today, is that it's not expensive to go out there and talk to somebody, to get some help, to seek some advice.
And you're saying all ages to start. So maybe the person, should an 18-year-old come with you? Should they start as soon as possible?
Absolutely. I have a 19-year-old daughter. Since she turned 18, she has a tax-free retirement vehicle that's set up for her. And she's 18 years old.
Well, she has you as a mom. That's an insane.
Right.
That's an advantage.
Well, I had to take care of her first.
I know,
right?
and that's
Absolutely.
so great. That's so great that she has you. And then what about somebody that's, because I have some clients I personal train and everything, and they're kind of like, oh, my money's already taken care of. I have everything taken care of for this, because they set up things way earlier. Should they come and revisit that with you? Or are there things that you guys are doing now that maybe 20 years ago wasn't offered them, so they should come and revisit that with you?
Absolutely, because as times change and we evolve, people are living 30 years longer historically over the last decade, right? So we're living longer, so we have to restructure retirement and the way we save money, the way we create income protection plans for our family. So I always put it in reference like this. If you go to the doctor and you're diagnosed with an illness, and you don't like what the doctor is telling you, or you want to make sure and you want to find out what are your options,
it's a second opinion.
You go get a second opinion.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
So it's something that, and that's your health, and that's super important. Well, your finances and your retirement, that's just as important as your health, because you have financial
It
health,
really is.
and you have financial wealth. So you always
That's what
wanna
we're
make
going
sure,
through right now in this nation, where it's like our finances we're having to kind of make a choice in a way.
right, you have to. So you always want to get a second opinion.
Okay, yeah, because my client, she was saying she had, when the stock market took a dive last month, the next day she put more money in, because she said that usually doesn't happen back to back like that.
Right.
And so then the next day after that, she's in a very bad mood because of that decision. So I'm thinking that if she met with somebody like you could give her advice, because you're saying you're not really losing money in this market.
They're not losing any money.
They're not
so
losing
clients
any money
that we've helped in the past, and the clients that have been moved out of the variable market, they're not losing any money at all.
Right. This is so great. Thank you so much for coming, Stacey. You just gave me a really good crash course education. I like how quick you were with all your responses.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Finally, I got to be here, and on your birthday.
I know.
Happy
That's so
birthday.
special. Well, everybody contact Stacey. Like I said, it's good to at least one time sit down with her and see what they have to offer. Thank you, Stacey.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me.